In this video we will see projectile motion. So in projectile motion, if you see, we have vertical y-axis and horizontal x-axis. So here if we throw something with the initial velocity u at an angle theta, so here the angle is theta and initial velocity is u, this will travel till highest point h and it will again come back to the same horizontal level, and it will cover a distance which we say is a range, which is a maximum distance for particular angle, and it takes time period t. So here if we see, t is a time period of flight. So flight is entire duration in which it is in motion and it is traveling. R is a range and height is h is the maximum height it is achieving during this flight. So here we have x direction and we have y direction. So if we see u, we can break it into two components. Velocity in x direction vx is equal to u cos theta, and in y direction it is u sin theta. Acceleration in x direction is 0 because there is no acceleration, because once we launch it we do not apply any external force. And acceleration in y direction, there is a gravity force continuously acting in downward direction, so acceleration in y direction is minus g. Distance travel in x direction is velocity in x direction and time of flight. So here u cos theta into time. So at particular time distance travel is as x and the maximum distance is a range which is r. In y direction maximum distance is h, but at any particular distance is sy. So at sy will be equal to uy into t plus half into ay into t square. Here u is velocity in y direction and ay is acceleration in y direction, which is negative times g. So this is distance in y, this is distance travel in x. So here if we see the time of flight, if you want to find t in terms of u and theta, then we know y direction is 0 at 2 points at time t is equal to 0, and when the flight is finished means at time t is equal to capital T, means time of flight. So here and here y direction there is no displacement because it again comes to the same horizontal level. So in y direction there is no displacement. Now if we put the displacement here, sy is equal to 0, sy is equal to 0 in this equation here. So here uy t plus half into ay t square, t is a time of flight, because we know that at t is equal to 0 definitely this equation will be 0, and at t equal to t again y equal to 0. So this equation ay is minus g and uy is u sin theta, these two equations. So if we keep all this we get this equation, and from that we can cancel one t and we subject to t, we get u sin theta, u sin 2u sin theta upon g. So this is how we can calculate time of flight. And if we want to calculate maximum height, then we know that maximum height occurs at t is equal to t by 2. So at that point sy will be equal to h, so distance in y will be equal to h. So here in this equation this is h, and 2u sin theta is the initial velocity, time t we know t by 2, and minus half into g into t square. G is ay in y direction, so minus g. Here h is equal to u, the same term, but we have to keep this t as t by 2, capital T by 2. And if we substitute this time period which we have found in this equation, then we can get h is equal to u square sin square theta upon 2g. So this will be the maximum height in any projectile. Now if we take at time t is equal to capital T, the distance in x direction will be equal to the range which is r. So here we use this equation 2u cos theta into time t, t is capital T, and capital T we get from here. So if we substitute everything, then r will be equal to u square sin 2 theta divided by g. And if we differentiate it and find at what theta angle the r will be maximum, then at theta is equal to 45 degree we will get r will be maximum for particular speed. So for any particular speed, that r will be maximum at theta is equal to 45 only. We have to remember here there is no air resistance or any kind of other forces acting on this object. Only there is a initial velocity u and there is gravitational acceleration in downward direction. So thank you for watching this video. In next video we will see angular motion. Do subscribe the channel and share this video, and share this video to the people who are preparing for GATE exam or any other similar exams. Thank you for watching this video.